I'm going to share with you the viral scripting method to get more views and to go viral on YouTube. I tried this particular scripting method on one of my videos and it gave me massive views. It actually outperformed some of my other videos considering my channel size, and because I'm a small creator, it gave me times 5 of my normal views on my other YouTube videos. Okay, this shows that this particular scripting method works and it works like magic. And on this channel, I'm always experimenting to see what is working and what is not working. I'm always trying to see new things and how I'm going to increase my channel views and to make my content go viral. And I'm going to tell you that few times that I didn't use this particular scripting method on my videos, my channel didn't perform very well. In fact, my videos tanked. Okay, so but the moment I started implementing this particular scripting method, my content started performing better. And few of the times I have been using it, I've been experiencing so much change. And this is to tell you that this particular scripting method is the way to go. I'm going to share this particular scripting method to you on this particular video so you can implement it on your videos and increase your own views and go viral. And also the most important one is to increase your watch hour, because this is the most important thing on YouTube. If you're getting views but your watch hour is not increasing, that means you are not going to get monetized. Okay, so this particular scripting method, I'm going to share that with you now so that you can increase your own watch hour and also drive in more views and more audience to your channel. So the first thing you have to implement when you are scripting your videos is to first of all outline the segment of the video, which is the hook, the intro, the preview, the content, and also the pivots. Some people call the pivots segue. Okay, you can also call it segue, but me, I choose to call it pivots. I've been able to increase my watch hours and I've been able to get my viewers to watch my videos to a very long time. Okay, and I also want you to do the same for your video. And the most important thing is that this thing has really increased my retention. You know that what increases your watch hour is the actual duration that people watches your video. If they watches your video to a very long time, your retention gap is going to increase. But if they keep on skipping your videos, it is going to reduce. So if you master this particular scripting method, I bet you that people are going to keep on watching your video non-stop without them stopping until they get the actual value that they plan on getting. For the hook, this is where you get the most people. Your hook is the only thing that can get people to stick around your video and watch it to the very end. The hook is where you're going to tell them what your thumbnail is all about. This is where you're going to lay emphasis on what your thumbnail is all about. Okay? All the things that you wrote on your thumbnail. Your hook is where you're going to explain it to your audience, because this is the actual reason why they clicked on that video. So the first thing you should be doing is you emphasizing on that particular thumbnail. Okay, so for example, I started off this video by telling you that I'm going to share with you the viral scripting method that I use for my video to get more views. So all the things that you saw on my thumbnail is what I started off by saying to you. Okay, there is no other thing that you're going to do on your hook rather than emphasizing more on your thumbnail. And this is why people clicked on your video, and this thing is going to tell them that you actually mean business, that you know what you're doing, or you're going to keep on, or you're going to explain to them what you have on your thumbnail without running around the bush. So the first few seconds should be you addressing your thumbnail and to keep them glued to watch your video even longer. And then we move to the intro. Okay, the intro is where the main challenge lies. Okay, so you have to pay attention to this very particular point, because this is where you have to get very correctly. If you don't get this particular place correctly, people are going to click out even before you start sharing what you have in your video. So your intro should be the major focus for you. So you have to pay very much attention to this particular part that I'm going to share. In as much as you got them hooked with your hook, in as much as you got them glued with your hook, or you got them to stick around with your hook. Okay, but if your intro doesn't reassure them of getting results, they are going to click out. And there is no two ways about it. So this is why you have to pay attention to your intro. And what is the intro? The intro is where you reassure them of getting results, and you're going to cite examples if you actually got results from that particular thing that you're sharing with them. Okay, this is the reason why I tell people that your intro is not where you have to introduce your name. It is intro, but it's not basically for you to introduce yourself. It is not for you to start saying your name or to start saying what your qualification is all about. It is not that type of introduction. It is intro, but in this actual sense, it is where you're going to reassure them of getting results and to reassure them with example. Okay, even if it is not from you, if it's from other people, you're going to tell them this in this particular stage. Even if the result or the example you're going to use for your intro is not basically you, but is another person, you're still going to tell them that this person did this particular thing and got the job. Okay, in this particular video, my intro for this video was where I was telling you that I used this particular scripting method for my video and it worked. And I went further to tell you that The few times that I didn't use this particular scripting method, that my views tanked. That is to tell you that your intro should be results proven and results driven. Okay, it is not you explaining what your name is or telling them, hi guys, my name is this, my name is that. That is not the particular intro that we are talking about. It is you reassuring them of getting results with examples and things that they can relate to it. So the next one is your preview. In your preview, this is where you're going to list out the things that you're going to say in the videos. For example, if the video has titles or if the video has chapters, okay, you're going to list them for them in this particular stage, because when you do this, it is going to reassure them that they're going to get results and the video is not going to be a waste. Okay, so they will get excited to see what you have or what the video entails, because this is the actual reason they click. So they'll be excited and be sure that they are going to get what you have to say to them if they eventually watch the video to the very end. Okay, so in my video, in this particular video, I started off with listing the various scripting method for you, which is the hook, the intro, the preview, and the segue. Okay, so but if that particular video doesn't have chapters, if it doesn't necessarily need chapters, then you're going to skip this particular part. But if it actually requires you to give in chapters, this is the point where you're going to include chapters so that you can reassure them or to get them excited of what they'll be expecting. But let's say, for instance, the video doesn't have chapters, then we'll move over to the next one, which is the content. Okay, then the content is where you're going to emphasize on everything. This particular point is very important, so you have to pay attention to this place. If you don't get this particular points right, even if they're watched from your hook, your intro, the preview to this very point, they're going to click out. But guess what? For someone to have watched your hook, your intro to this very point, that means your retention gap is going to be high. And that means you're going to get the watch hours. Okay, so don't worry. Even if the person doesn't watch to this very point, it still add up to your retention and it's going to push out that video, because the more people stay on your video, the more YouTube is going to push that video to more audience, and that is a win for you. But we don't actually want people to skip our videos at all. We want a larger percentage to watch it and watch it to the very end. So you're going to pay attention to your content, and I'm going to explain what you will do on this particular stage to get them to watch and watch over and over again. So, and for your content, this is where you start unpacking everything that you have to say on that video, everything that you have promised to share to people on that video. This is where you're going to unleash them, okay? And the way and manner which you present this is going to make a change, okay? And some people, it depends on how you're going to script your videos. Some people script their own content word for word, and they'll be reading out and like they'll be looking at something and be reading it out, okay? Like some people make use of teleprompter. Some people just make use of their scripts, like their book, to read it out and make their videos. But it depends on what you want. Some people just do bullet scripting method. Just they just write out the major points on a book, and when they look at it, they already know what they're going to say and keep on saying it on camera. It depends on what works for you. If you are the type of person that just wants to read everything from A to Z, then it is fine. If you're the type of person that just wants to write out the bullets and just explain everything to people, then it's actually fine. But just make sure the thing that you're doing, any method that you're going to using writing out your script, make sure that you are going to say it's very natural. Make sure that it is flowing from your head. Make sure it doesn't have the vibe that you are reading it off from somewhere. Just make it be in line with what people want to say. Don't make them suspect that you are reading it from a book. It wouldn't look natural. People will just click out. And if you're always the type that when you're shooting a video, you'll be looking out here or you'll be looking at the other side of the camera, it is going to give off the impression that you don't know what you're saying. So make sure your face is focused on the camera. Make sure you're looking at the camera directly, okay, so that people will know that, okay, this person has confidence in what they're saying, that they mean what they are saying, and they will actually believe in what you're saying without flinching. Make sure it doesn't give off this weird vibe whenever you are shooting your video. So whichever way you want to write out your script, just go for it. It depends on what works for you, on what you can actually do. For me, I script my video by, like, I write my video content by using bullet method, okay? So I just write out the major points and then do every other thing. So this is why it is very important for you to make research before you can be able to shoot a video, so that you can be actually acquainted with what you'll be saying to people. It is going to flow in naturally, okay? So I advise you to do more of bullets whenever you're scripting your videos. Don't write it word for word. Just make sure you write out the major points so that you can be able to say it from your head, because after you must have done your research, you can be able to say it from your head, okay? I know that you're going to make mistakes when you're shooting it this way. Don't have any problem. After shooting your videos, you can always edit out those points where you're saying um like all of those things. You can always edit it out during the process of editing, so you don't have to bother about making mistake. You don't have to bother about anything. So make sure you just script it by writing out the major points so that you can be able to speak from your heart and from your head. But for your hook and your intro, I advise you to, if it is possible, read it out word for word so you can actually get the most thing that you wrote on your thumbnail and to be in line, because this is the major point that will get people to stick to your video and watch it to the very end. So if it is very necessary, make sure you're reading it word for word. There are people who can be able to cram it on their head and read it word for word without making mistake. But if you are not in this category, if you can't have something on your head and read it very perfectly, you can always script it word for word, especially your hook and your introduction, okay? So this one is very important because you have to get your introduction, your hook, and what you have on your thumbnail very well and very clear so that people will know that this is what you mean and this is what you're going to deliver throughout that video, because this particular point is very important. You have to be in line and you shouldn't make any mistake. The last one is the segue, which is the pivot. Okay, this thing actually means transitioning from this particular thing to another thing. So if you want to get more views on your channel, if you want people to retain on your channel, because the more people watch this video on your channel, the more views you get and the more audience you get also. So you have to always include segue, which is your pivot in your video, so that you can actually get more views and to retain audience on your channel. So if you actually want to do this, look at what you're going to do. You're going to include any video card you have that is related to the video or your end screen, or if you have something that that you want to film in your video in subsequent videos. This is where you're going to tell them, like maybe you're going to tell them that if you want to do this or if you want to get to know this thing, you should subscribe to the channel and wait for my other videos. Or you can actually tell them something that you have actually filmed before so that they can go back and watch that particular one. So if you want to know how to get more views on your videos and to get recommended, you have to watch the video on the screen. Okay, so see you in my next video and good luck on your YouTube channel. And I just wish that you make the most out of your YouTube channel. So stick to the rules, stick to the most strategies that will work for you and see your channel move from A to Z. Okay, so this is me wishing you good luck on your YouTube journey and make sure you keep on creating content.